The Endless Golf Podcast, brought to you by Toyota.
And welcome into another edition of the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Joining me today from Ruddos Golf is John Ruddo. And John, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to talk some golf, always with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And welcome to John's new store, about a mile down the road on 611, and it's a great location, much bigger, John, and I got to tell you, the store's packed. It looked great.
Yeah, 3 times the size, Bobby. We actually moved 6 weeks ago, and like you said, we're on the right side of the road coming down 611, a mile past my old store, but it's been phenomenal. An abundance of gear, as you can see. We have a simulator to do club fitting and demo equipment. A lot of golf clubs, a lot of apparel, and a lot of shoes.
And most importantly, you're right down the road from a number of great golf courses as well.
Yeah, Eagles Landing, Rum Point, Ocean City Golf Club, Aztec Greens, which has a driving range and a par 3. So, yeah, we've been on this road, Bobby, for 27 years, believe it or not. 27 years. So it's been a good run. We're excited about the new space and excited to take care of all the people coming down to Ocean City to play golf.
Well, what's new as far as equipment-wise for 2024?
Every year there's something new about it,
every
as you
year.
know. The big 4 manufacturers I deal with is Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, and Ping. Ping's got the new 10K G430 out driver. It's been popular, done really well with the QI10. And Callaway's got the AI Smoke, and then TaylorMade with the TSR product. So real good product out there to make the game a little bit easier for all of us.
And that's always a good thing for sure. And you mentioned this a few moments ago. You've got a simulator, and with your simulator now, the guys and girls can come in, they can actually hit the golf clubs, which is a huge advantage. And you've got all the numbers to kind of line up and make sure they get the right lie angle, the right shaft, etc. Absolutely.
Loft for driver, you know, obviously the loft and the shaft flex is important. Another nice feature too, and we allow this, is, you know, some people don't like hitting it indoors in the sim. They rather like to see the ball flight. So again, Aztec Greens is now a mile down the road. They're welcome to take product down there and hit. So we're pretty flexible with fitting customers.
Well, there's a number of hard goods to choose from, as John talked about, whether you're looking for irons, drivers, putters, whatever. Yeah. You've got it right here at Ruddos Golf. But also, the shoe selection is amazing as well. And John, you've always done a great job with the shoes. And the technology with shoes, they're trying to make them more and more comfortable, which is very important.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been selling shoes for 30 years, and the shoe has really come a long way. You know, back in the old days, the old hard leather sole, and you always got blisters. Metal spikes. I mean, now you put a shoe on, it feels like a sneaker. And it looks like a classic golf shoe. So we sell, obviously, a lot of FootJoy. We sell Callaway and New Balance. New Balance has done really well. Real good shoe. So all waterproof and very lightweight, which is key.
And a lot of the outerwear you have here, you know, obviously Ocean City, Maryland, we have great weather most of the times, but sometimes it can get a little iffy. And if you're looking for some rain gear or rain gloves, anything, you've got it here as well.
Yeah, apparel-wise, for both men and women, a lot of waterproof gear. We have layering pieces, we have fleece, we have nylon pullovers. As you know, you come down in March, April, and May can be a little sketch with the weather. I had some guys in here this morning who were getting some wind sweaters and some winter gloves and a cap, but it'll be 70 degrees tomorrow, so you just never know in Ocean City, and especially if you're playing the courses on the water, you know, Lighthouse Sound, Rum Point, Eagles Landing, Ocean City Golf Club. You know, you get that, you read you watch the news and it says, you know, 65 degrees, you go down the golf course, the wind's blowing 15 miles an hour, and all of a sudden it's 55 degrees. Yeah, it's 55 degrees. So, yeah, we have a lot of apparel. And then when it warms up, we deal with a lot of nice, as you can see behind me, a lot of colorful print shirts to get the guys and gals dressed up for the summertime. So we do really well with apparel.
Well, another thing that you've expanded is your ladies selection, a really good selection for the ladies if they're looking for shoes or any apparel, et cetera. So I encourage all the ladies to come down.
Yeah, we definitely, we try to take care of the women as best as we can. You know, we have a couple hundred pairs of shoes in stock, you know, 300-400 pieces of apparel, and you know, equipment for the starter or the intermediate golfer up to the better player. And again, you know, TaylorMade, Ping. So yeah, we try to take care of it. Got to keep the women happy, Bobby.
Absolutely. You know, technology has changed the game in many, many ways with equipment and also apparel, shoes, etc. and also golf bags. You've got a great selection of golf bags. When you walk in the store here, you look up on the walls and just a great selection. And the bags are much, much lighter and much easier to get around.
Yeah, it's
with.
almost like the golf shoe. I mean, back in 30, 40 years ago, it was plastic or vinyl or leather, or it was really heavy bag. All the bag manufacturers now produce a product that's very lightweight and durable. Even like down to the zipper, they have nylon zipper. It's really light bags. Most of them are between 3.5 and 4.5 pounds. Whether it's a stand bag or a cart bag. But again, we carry all the brands, Ping, TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, and then we sell a real nice bag in Sun Mountain. Sun Mountain makes a real nice bag. And we have a couple hundred bags in stock and some nice colors for women also. So if women are looking for more of a feminine look, we have that here also.
And I know one of the things I know you're really proud of is the service that you receive when you walk in the store. Derek has been with you forever, it seems like. Derek. And you are a PGA professional. He knows the golf swing very well. He knows the game of golf very well. So getting golfers in the right set of golf clubs and equipment, very important, and you do a great job with that.
Yeah, well, as you know, it can be a very frustrating game. So it's very important to have equipment that's suited for you. And that starts with the actual head size itself. A lot of guys might be playing in a muscle back or a player's club, which might not benefit them the most. So getting into an oversized club, getting the right shaft, getting the right grip is very important. And going back to Derek's been with me for 23 years, and he's like my little son who's now, he was very mature now. Back in the early days, he was a little rough around the edges.
I think that goes for both of you, actually.
He was a little rough around the edges, but he's very polished now. So, but I'm gonna give that credit to his wife, Shawnee. She does a good job keeping that.
Absolutely.
But, so yeah, Derek's been with for a long time, and then my son Jonathan's going to be involved. As you know, in our old location, we're in the process of we kept that store. We're going to put a couple Foresight golf simulators in that location for rent. So that'll happen sometime in May. So if you're interested in playing Pebble Beach or Pinehurst and saving a couple $1,000s, you can play those courses on the sims that'll be up and running here shortly.
Well, what a great idea! Right at your old location, you'll have the simulators, and if you get some inclement weather, or you can't get back on the golf course because it's too late or too crowded in the evenings, it's a perfect time to do that.
Everyone doesn't have your life, okay? they have responsibility. They have a 9 to 5 job.
They only have an hour to play, right?
They have a 9 to 5 job, or they might have kids. Okay, everyone doesn't live like you. So we're trying to take care of the guys that very busy in life, and they can sneak out at 5, maybe after work, and play a couple hours, and then get back home. So it's good for learning, teaching. There's a driving range on that sim that you can play. Different golf courses. You can look at your swing speed, your ball speed, launch angle, which are all important to figuring out the right club. So yeah, it's got a good opportunity also maybe for a beginner who doesn't want to play 3 hours for 9 holes at a golf course. They can go in there and hit more balls and work on their swing.
Well, one of the things we all know is everything costs more now. And one of the great things about you, John, is you've been in this business so long. You know how to buy and know what to buy. You give golfers a great value as well.
We try.
You also do the buying for all the Ruark golf courses, Lighthouse Sound, Glen Riddle, Nutter's Crossing, and also Lighthouse Sound. So, or excuse me, Rum Point. Yeah. And if you go in any of those pro shops, they just look beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I try. I've been doing it for over 30 years, so I feel like I have a little bit of an eye for it. But yeah, we try to mix up the inventory. The inventory in the golf courses are a little bit different than what I have in my store, but we try to cover the bases for everyone.
Well, John, we'll take a quick break, come back and talk about some PGA Tour and Live Golf after this, so stay with us.
And now a word from our sponsor.
I love a good adventure, and my friends and family do too. So we all drive Toyotas. Tacomas for my rugged buds and Corollas for my city crew. And I drive a RAV4 that I take camping, shopping, and basically everywhere else. We all picked our Toyotas because they're reliable and efficient and have amazing resale value, saving us money now and down the road. So we can make every day an adventure. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals and inventory. Toyota, let's go places.
And welcome back to the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. With me today from Ruddos Golf is John Ruddo. And John, it's great to have you on the podcast. Talk about your new location on Route 611, 1 mile down the street from your old location. Simulators in the old location and this beautiful new golf store here on Route 611. Come visit John and Derek. They'll set you up with anything that you need, that's for sure. Let's talk a little golf now. And, you know, the business of golf has been booming over the last few years. It's been pretty amazing. But the game of golf is in a little bit of disarray, to say the least, right now, John.
That's an understatement. Obviously, with Live Golf and the PGA Tour, they're butting heads right now. I was actually fortunate enough to go to Augusta this year. I was there for 3 days, and this is the first time that John Rahm has played with his past PGA cohort. So there's definitely some friction. Like Phil Mickelson was paired with a PGA Tour player on the first tee. We sat on the first tee, watched a bunch of groups go through, and it was very frosty and not a very good welcome. So there's definitely some animosity amongst the PGA Tour players. But it looks like it's in a process of coming together a little bit. There's some rumblings about Live and PGA Tour getting together in some kind of aspect down the road.
Well, I think that's important for the game of golf. For all of us who love to watch golf, you know, the division right now has been kind of frustrating to watch as a golf fan. And, you know, all the bad blood between the two, I kind of don't get that. I really feel like, you know, the networks, along with a lot of the PGA Tour guys, demonized the guys who went to Live. And now, you know, with the money situation, it looks like the Live is going to maybe invest in, that fund is going to invest in the PGA Tour. So it's all going to be kind of commingled. And it's really unfortunate that there've been emotions and feelings involved with this. And it is a business decision for
Right.
most of these guys.
There's a couple different ways to look at it. You know, being in my store here, I saw Greg Norman apparel, and some guys, you know, they see it and I don't want any of that stuff, you know. But you know, this is America. Everyone's different. For me personally, I'm kind of down the middle on the whole thing. There's a group out there, younger people, you know, untucked shirt, playing music. You know, it's more of a recreational thing. They're kind of leaning towards Live. It's just a different. You're conservative, button up, you know,
Long pants.
You know, a private country club golfer usually doesn't lean towards Live at all. They're more traditional. So I don't know. I hope it's going to play out okay. I know that ratings are down. Ratings, the last round at Augusta was down 20%. I think the public's getting tired of the money. You know, obviously they make a large sum of money. Actually, to be honest with you, the PGA Tour players currently should be happy for
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for Live, they wouldn't be playing, you know, for $20 million purses like they are now, because the PGA Tour is trying to compete with Live. So it's listen, everyone's gotten richer, but I think they finally come to the conclusion that, hey, you know what, we better shift strokes here and start taking care of the viewer, the golfer who's watching us, because we're starting to lose them. And if you notice during the telecast now, well, at least I noticed, they don't really talk about money much.
No.
How much he's going to win, what second place is. You know, Ken Venturi always used to do that, you know, back in the day. Oh, he makes his putt, he finishes third, he makes another $100,000. But they don't talk money anymore, and they don't need to, you know, because everyone has it.
Everyone has it, that's for sure. And I think as a golf fan, you just want to see the best players compete against each other. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in the majors, we get to see that.
Right.
Unfortunately, maybe not in the PGA or not the PGA, in the, like at Sawgrass, we don't get to see that at some of the big events.
Right.
But at least the majors, you get to see the players.
Right.
But you wonder how long that's going to last as well, because if these guys don't qualify, they will be out of some of the majors.
All your better players, though, your Rahm, your DJ, Brooks Koepka, DeChambeau, they all won majors in the past 3 or 4 years. So most of those guys are exempt through 2026, 27, and by then this will all be figured out, I think. So I think it would be a shame if a real good golfer wasn't included in a major, but I don't think that's the case. Like Taylor Gooch has played really well on Live. He did not get in at Augusta. And then, you know what, if they're not in, they can do the old-fashioned way. They can qualify. The U.S. Open is a qualifier. The the Open Championship, or I like to call it the British Open, which because it upsets them, that you can qualify for that. And then the PGA is a little bit more difficult to
John, the one thing that I've been amazed over the years, you watching the PGA Tour, it's the one professional sport where, you can actually play the sport a couple days and not get paid. I always thought that was kind of funny where, these guys on tour, they'll go out to an event, they have to pay for their caddy, they have to pay for their room, pay for their meals, all the expenses of travel to get there. They grind it out for 2 days on the golf course. They miss the cut, they don't get a dime. Yet the winner of the tournament's getting, $2 million or whatever it is. And I just felt like that was kind of unfair. I know the Masters does that differently. Like each person, if they miss the cut, they get some money. I think it's 10 grand.
Yeah, 5 or 10 grand.
And so I really think that's a big thing. I think the tour has changed that a little bit. But we know of guys that have tried to make it on tour, and there's they're marginal, and maybe they qualify on a Monday, and and then they missed a cut, and they're done. They don't get any money. They've got to ask their family for money. They've got to ask for sponsors. Put themselves in a bad situation.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I was always a big believer, and I said this pre-LIV. Which is, I feel like if you qualify for a PGA tournament, you get a $10,000 check. $10,000 check, whether you make the cut or not. And maybe if you make the cut, you don't get the $10,000 check. But if you don't make the cut, you got your caddy. He's $2 or $3 grand a week. You got to fly, get there, and they're not. Those guys aren't flying private. You got lodging, so food. So for a week, that adds up. But even so, it's different again now than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, where if you qualify for the PGA Tour, you're a millionaire between sponsors and the amount of money that's out there. You're going to do okay.
Well, something I've always thought too, and I've watched, and I know you've watched, you've been a part of it as a PGA professional. You've watched the business of being a club professional, the guys who grind it out and the girls who grind it out at the golf clubs. They work a lot of hours. They don't get paid that much money as far as all the responsibility that they have. I always felt like the PGA Tour could have done more for the PGA golf professionals, whether it's donating some money to their section championships, to just do something. But I know there's a disconnect. It's two completely different organizations.
Yeah, the PGA.
But I do think that the PGA Tour should recognize the folks that grow the game, and that is your local PGA golf professional. They're the ones out giving lessons. They're giving junior clinics. They're teaching and introducing new people to the game, which basically presents golf fans. And I thought that there should be some kind of revenue or some kind of throwback to the PGA.
Well, 20 years ago, as far as playing capabilities, is each section, like the Kemper Open used to be a congressional and then the Avenel. The PGA Tour would always give whatever section the tournament was in for exemption. So we would go try to qualify to participate in the event. In fact, my brother played in the Kemper Open 1 year. But that went away, more money, then you got players who are qualified but can't get in the event, and for PGA of America players are playing, it became a problem. So that's gone. And you know what? We do what we do. We listen. It's not an easy job.
You always tell me you're a shoe salesman.
Yeah, I'm a shoe salesman.
He's Al Bundy.
No one sells. I'm a +6 when it comes to selling shoes. I sell a couple thousand pair a year.
You shot even par yesterday, by the way.
Shot even par. I got lucky. But yeah, it's you just kind of roll with it, Bob. It's just it's what we do. And trust me, I've been fortunate because when I was younger, I had a 9-to-5 job in a suit and drove the Beltway every day in D.C. And this environment's a whole lot better than that. So don't let them cry too much about how bad we have it.
Absolutely,
we're pretty fortunate to be around. And usually when people come in, whether it's at the golf course, they're in a good mood. They're going to play golf. Yeah. It's a great environment to be around. So I'm happy with where we are.
All right. Well, John Ruddo from Ruddos Golf right here on Route 611 in West Ocean City, his new location. Come on by, see John, see Derek. They'll get you set up with all your equipment, all the soft goods you need, shoes, whatever it is. They've got it all here at Ruddos Golf. Thanks for spending some time with me today.
Thanks, buddy.
John.
I appreciate it.
All right.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Always. Until next time, right here on the Endless Golf Podcast, we'll see you. So long, everybody.
The Endless Golf Podcast has been brought to you by Toyota.